Welcome to the Business Chop, where challenges, success, rewards, and solutions to entrepreneurship collide. Let's chop it up. Hello, Chop Squad. It is great to be with you, and I'm excited. Our guest today is Mona Bavar. She's a cultural innovator, blending ancient wisdom with cutting-edge AI to transform how businesses tell their stories and shape the future. Born in Iran and raised in America, Mona's multicultural journey sparked a deep passion for bridging worlds and fostering meaningful connections. With her company, BlueApples AI, she helps entrepreneurs harness the power of AI to fuel innovation and creativity while staying true to their authentic voice. Very important, ensuring they thrive in a rapidly evolving business landscape. Through DLISH, she curates luxury gifting and multi-sensory experiences that connect people across cultures, redefining the art of meaningful exchange. By integrating archetypes, storytelling, and technology, Mona is at the forefront of helping leaders navigate a future where human connection remains at the heart of innovation. And we're going to meet and hear more about Mona after this commercial break. Get your brim on. Since 1972, American Hat Makers has been dedicated to the art of fine hat making. Their diverse selection caters to outdoor adventurers, style-conscious individuals, and hat enthusiasts just like me. With a focus on meticulous detail and quality materials, I love wearing their hats. Embrace your own spirit of adventure and individuality. Visit bit.ly/hats now, bit.ly hats now, or use our affiliate link in the show notes to view their vast selection of men's and women's styles. Spring into Action, save the date. Elevating the You and Entrepreneurs coming April 24th through the 26th. Learn from sessions on business technology, artificial intelligence, emotional intelligence, digital marketing, monetizing your knowledge, podcasting, leadership, and more. For pre-early bird registration, visit bit.ly/spring into action 2025. Welcome back. Between LA and Italy, BlueApples AI helps businesses merge AI innovation with human creativity. Too often, AI is seen as either a quick fix or a creativity killer. Mona shows clients how to use AI as a collaborator instead. The goal is to scale smarter, create with intention, and keep their brand's identity strong while embracing new technology. Mona, welcome to the Business Chop.
Thank you very much, Audrey, for that wonderful introductory. I'm very happy to be here and to speak with you and your audience.
Yes, thank you. You are welcome. Now, before we get started, let's open up with a couple of fun facts about yourself you want to share with us.
Sure. One of them that you already mentioned is I was born in Iran and moved to the United States many, many years ago in 1979. And I grew up in Los Angeles, but then I moved to Italy after 30 odd years to do my MBA. So I love to merge all these cultures that I've been fortunate enough to experience and live in.
That's awesome.
I love archetypes, the Jungian archetypes, and how to use them in order for us to get to know ourselves. It's a hobby, I guess, that turned into something very, very special for me as far as business-wise goes as well. So I bring the archetypes in with AI, and I love to have fun with AI, and I'm not tech savvy at all.
Sure.
But I decided AI was an embracer. So I took it and made it my best friend. Mm-hmm. And here we are today.
Absolutely. Yes. And what's this I read about British crime series?
Oh, yes. I forgot to mention that. I love British crime series. At this point of my life, I always look at those Instagram reels where they say, this is me at 20, and then this is me at 40.
Oh, yeah.
So this is me at 50, sitting on my sofa watching when my downtime and after a long day of working, it's my way of decompressing, let's say, watching British crime series because they're so refined.
That's fun. I like that. All right. So, how can entrepreneurs harness AI to amplify their creativity while staying true to our authentic voice?
I think first, before we even answer that question, it's important to say that all entrepreneurs, all founders, all company leaders, CEOs, executives, whoever you may be, it's very important to understand your why and the story of your brand. right? Because that in it is our why. And a lot of times we stay at the surface. So we say our client's pain point is they're looking to stay awake or they're looking for more energy when it comes to exercising. So let's put out these energy drinks and address these pain points. But the founder of that energy drink, if you go back and you read his or her story, if they really did go dig deep inside, you'll understand that there was a moment in their life that happened maybe when they were a child, maybe they were a teenager, or some point in their life where they realized they had that moment where they said, I have to do this.
Wow. Yeah.
And we've heard it in big companies. Apple has a great brand story. If you speak to small business owners, to founders, to individuals, they'll say what their why was. For the longest time, for example, with DLISH, my gifting company, I could never understand why I wanted to start a gifting company around food, art, and design. I mean, so abstract. Until I really went deep and understood my why. So once you have that, you become more confident in communicating your values, your vision, your mission, and everything becomes clearer. Then you can sit in front of AI with confidence, knowing exactly what you're looking for, who your target audience is. And aside from that one pain point that you choose to address, there's hundreds of them that they don't even know about. And so
Mm.
you fill that gap while connecting an emotional connection with them, still using AI. But we go back to the fact that you have to know all this so that you can do the prompting, the engineering. And there's a reason they call it engineering, right? Because
Yeah.
it's so precise. I love to compare it to a pastry recipe because we know that baking, pastry chefs, they call it a science because every little ingredient and every measurement has to be so precise to get the result.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you. So, you talk about bridging cultures and worlds. What lessons can leaders learn from your multicultural journey?
First of all, expansion and opening our minds, realizing that if something works in one culture, it doesn't necessarily work in another culture. Looking at our commonalities before looking at our differences. And I think that's something very important. It's my lesson in life because as an immigrant going to the United States, there was a lot of hostility initially. And it wasn't until we started to gather around the table, my parents would share stories about our culture, about our history, about where we come from. This merger of the two cultures came together. And so you understand that, for example, the table or that common element of food is something that brings people together. And then you can learn about the differences. And then you say, oh, that's so fascinating. Let me embrace it. Let me be inspired by it. And so I think it's these kinds of moments in life when now we're living in a world where everybody's traveling. You go in and you don't take necessarily your culture with you, but you embrace the culture that you're living. So I know a lot of people that they'll go on holiday or they'll go on their vacations and they'll go to resorts where the food is the same that you have in your hometown or in your country. It's these little small bits of, I know they may sound in a world of business very, very small, but if you think about it, it's a progression of expanding your mind and opening your horizons so then you can be an effective leader, strategist, visionary, because you have to be inspired from somewhere, right? You have to be
Right.
influenced by something. So I think that's where it's important to be open.
So then you've built businesses that bridge different worlds. So what's your vision for the future of human connection in an AI powered world?
So they say the antithesis of AI is human connection. We're not at a stage right now, at least, I mean, aside from the China platforms that have come out or the Asians that have come out, which I haven't used because you need codes. But I have to say that there's always going to be a need, at least for the near future, a need for that human element, mainly because we're bridging the traditional with the innovative. And you can't do that without that human connection. So that let's say that bridge is that human. I know there's a lot of people out there that are afraid and they say, AI is going to destroy my world. I'm not going to have access to I'm going to lose my job. This is going to happen. We're already living in a virtual world. We're going to become even more isolated and go into our hermit mode. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I think we had COVID and everybody was afraid, but now everybody goes out and they want to experience shopping, not necessarily e-commerce, but go and experience. So if we get creative with the experiences that we offer, even merging AI with a dinner, for example, or we created a guide where you tap into that traditional wisdom or that ancient wisdom of archetypes, but you're using the innovation of AI. So it's a way of connecting first with ourselves and then with others. I'm very optimistic. I believe that we can do so much good with AI, and that's how we live it at my agency, Blue Apples, and I personally live it. So I say I love to have fun with it. So why not have fun with AI? Why not embrace it? Why not do abstract things with it that you would have never thought? And it enhances your creativity. I never thought I was creative. I always thought I'm not thought, I was that person that lived in the box because I you go to business school, you go to get your MBA, you work in a corporation, they say it has to be like this. These are the rules, you have to follow them. It's only in the past, I don't know, let's say 5, 10 years that we're becoming so vast in our imaginations. And if we just keep cultivating that and nurturing that, I mean, I think the possibilities are beautiful and endless.
Knock out your competition with Altogether Marketing. We elevate your brand. Take a stance with your business name, logo, the tagline, your colors, even the fonts for your business. And then jab left with your website, jab right with core values. Back up with product experience and bring it on with you. Visit altogether.biz and let us help you create a knockout brand. For entrepreneurs who feel overwhelmed by AI, where should they start and how can they make it work for them?
I think the best way is to just sit in front of your LLM, your ChatGPT, your whoever, whatever it is out there, Claude, and just play with it. Have fun. Like I said, I never knew there's a possibility to have fun while you're working. But if you sit down and you just ask an abstract question, type in who is Audrey Wiggins. You type that in and see what it says. Then teach it. Then say, you know what? What do you recommend I do based on the information you have about me? What do you do about this? How do you do this? I have my nephew who's 8 years old that sits in front of it and asks all the questions that parents during my generation, my parents couldn't answer. Why is the sky dark at night? Why does it rain? You know, these little things that you engage with AI. So you engage with it. So you're not afraid of it or intimidated by it. I think it takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you're hooked. Hooked, not in a way where it becomes negative and overpowers your world, but in a way where when Google first came into the market or any of the search engines back in the days, before we would go to the library or we would look at reference books, the encyclopedia, here you are saying, you know what, let me sit in front of Google and say, tell me where I can, why the Grand Canyon is one of the seven wonders, for example. And so it's one of these things, it's these kinds of just embracing it and having fun with it. There's no worst case scenario, really. Worst case scenario, you shut it, you never use it again, and you walk away from it.
Absolutely. So the next couple of questions I'm going to ask you about Blue Apples, and I'm going to ask you about DLISH. Get your brim on. Since 1972, American hat makers has been dedicated to the art of fine hat making. Their diverse selection caters to outdoor adventurers, style-conscious individuals, and hat enthusiasts just like me. With a focus on meticulous detail and quality materials, I love wearing their hats. Embrace your own spirit of adventure and individuality. Visit bit.ly/hats now, bit.ly hats now, or use our affiliate link in the show notes to view their vast selection of men's and women's styles. What inspires you to create Blue Apples, and what is your vision for how it will impact entrepreneurs?
So Blue Apples actually was inspired because of Delish. As entrepreneurs, we know we're always trying to bootstrap. About 2.5 years ago, when I got exposed to ChatGPT, when I understood about ChatGPT, I sat down and I said, okay, why don't I just figure it out, play with it? And then I realized it was really a helpful tool for creating content. And so I went deeper and deeper with the content. Then I started to ask for ideas. And as ChatGPT grew, I grew with it. So learning how to use it in a most efficient way. And I have to say something. I think we get overwhelmed with all the noise. So on Instagram, you see a lot of people trying to push things on you, saying, you know what? Buy this 28-day guide and you'll master AI. It's not necessarily the case. We're still at a stage where when we do Blue Apples, therefore was inspired by Delish because we saw the need for it and how many entrepreneurs needed it, especially small to mid-sized businesses. So we said, okay, why don't we start helping people the way it's been helping us? But what ends up happening is we think that we can just sit down in front of it and do it. You have to know that there is still some kind of expertise that needs to be given. So when we do our training programs, for example, half day training, full day training, this is one of the things that we address with companies when they want their employees to be trained on AI, because you do not want to lose that authenticity that is unique to you, whether if it's your brand voice, your style, how you communicate, all of those things have to be maintained. You still have to be competitive with your competitors because remember, if you're doing it alone and your competitor's doing it alone, the probability of you producing the same generic content is very high. And so what ends up happening is you become one of the 4 billion that was recorded last year of content. And this year it's predicted to reach 8 to 10 billion. So it means that everybody's sitting in front of AI creating content, blogs. Let me search, rank higher, rank higher, rank higher.
Right.
Okay, but you're generic, so you're not going to rank higher. You still need the human being.
With the list, you define luxury gifting. How can storytelling elevate the way businesses connect with clients and partners?
DLISH is my baby, and I'm very proud of it. It's a gifting company that I started about 7 years ago around food, art, and design. And the whole idea is where I said it's a part of my story of feeling safe around the table, safe to express your emotions, safe to share stories, safe to feel, safe to do whatever it is that you want to do. And as I went on to university and moved out of my home, I took that with me, that element of bringing people all together around food and sharing my culture. So it made me proud of my culture. It made me proud of where I come from and all the different pieces that have been inputted in me, all the different archetypes that I now possess and I nurture, let's say. And so entrepreneurship is in my blood. And I wanted this. So I thought, how beautiful to put gift boxes together as a gift because there's always a scarcity, right? We don't know. Or they're all, again, we go back to generic, where everyone puts the same food hamper together, the same design, whatever, book lover hamper. All of them were all the same, and they were all quite undesirable. And so we decided, let's elevate it. Let's make it fun. Let's add an element of style to it. We're not for everyone. We tend to be bold. Our products are quite unique, so our prices are a little bit higher, but we have that uniqueness that no one can take away from us. And to this day, I have not found a competitor that shines the way we do. And so I'm very proud of it. And from that, because the table is so special to me, and the conversations and the stories and the food and the wine, everything that all the music, all the senses that are stimulated during a gathering. I wanted to also expand Delish and do gift experiences where we curate experiences around the senses. So that's how Delish came to be.
When you say luxury gifting, is it food or they're tangible products or what is it?
Yes, it's there's always a food product,
Hmm.
whether that's uh, alcohol, non-alcohol, food, like a, I don't know, pasta box. But there's always a design piece as well. So we work with artisans, we work with craftsmen, we work with designers, we work with local producers to curate for corporations, for weddings, for individuals. We have a vast network of vendors.
Wow, that's awesome. So that's going to segue into, how we can learn more about you and BlueApples AI and DLISH. So how can we find more information?
You're more than welcome to look at our products at DLISH, which is DLISH.us, and then BlueApples with an S.ai if you'd like to learn more about the AI aspect and just set up a discovery call, get to know us, understand how AI can help you. And then me personally, you can find me on LinkedIn.
Okay, great. And you have a course then on your site as well for AI?
Yes, we have to determine the date is to be announced, but it's a free
Mhm.
course around AI and marketing.
Okay, that's awesome. So, Mona, as we come to a close, would love for you've been really like sewing into us since the beginning of this interview, but what advice do you have for the Chop Squad?
I highly, highly recommend having fun because as soon as that happens, it's as if the clouds have gone away and the sun has come out. And you just realize that while you're on a journey of entrepreneurship or leadership and how you can impact other people. So my advice is just have fun because I didn't for so many years. And now in my latter years of my life, I'm trying to learn how to have fun.
Very important. Oh my goodness. We just want to work 60 and 80 hours a week. And, it's like, no, that's not why you got into business. We had dreams and goals and aspirations. So, with that, thank you again, Mona, for pouring into us on the Business Chop and Chop Squad. You make sure that you log in, log on, and really connect with what Mona's doing there at BlueApples.ai and also DLISH. Let's add some fun to our personal landscapes. Thanks again, Mona.
Thank you very much, Audrey. It was a pleasure.
You are so welcome, Mona. Take care. Thank you for listening to The Business Shop. We hope that you were able to glean valuable information from our guests and that you will download and share this podcast. Your rating and review is much appreciated. To go deeper with our guests, please visit their website and social channels. To learn more about us, please visit businesschop.info or altogether.biz, where we will help you expand your brand.